Now that we know how to solve equations with a variable, we're going to look at some equations that have a variable on both sides. So let's take a look at this one. 5x equals 2x plus 12. We're going to start by putting our lines down the equal sign to stay organized as we solve. And now we're going to look at the two terms that have the variable. It's a good rule of thumb that instead of picking a side necessarily for your variable to be on, let's look at avoiding creating a negative term with the variable. This means we want to combine our terms, but we want to subtract or add the variable that is less than the other one. So this term 2x is smaller than 5x. Remember, 2x means 2 groups of x. 5x means 5 groups of x, and x is the value we don't know, so we're going to solve for it. So we're going to take the negative, we're going to take 2x off of this side by subtracting 2x, and we're going to do the same on the other side to keep our equals sign true. What we're left with over here is 3x, and over here we just have the constant positive 12. For our final step, we're going to just divide both sides by 3 and get our answer where x equals 4. Now, we need to come back and check our answer. That's important in case we've made a mistake. We won't know unless we check. So anytime we're going to rewrite this, and anytime that we see an x, we're going to replace it with the 4. So we have 5 times 4 equals 2 times 4 plus 12. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 plus 12 equals 20. So we can see that we solved this correctly. Now let's do another one. Over here, we have negative 6z and 9z, and then we have 28 and negative 2. The first step is still to get our variable terms on the same side. So we want to get just the z on one side. Since negative 6 is smaller than 9, I'm going to eliminate the negative 6z and put it with its opposite. So we're adding 6z to both sides. What's left over here is 28, and we get 15z, and then minus 2. Bring that down. Now we're going to get rid of this constant because we're trying to get the z term by itself. So we add 2 to both sides. We get 30 equals 15z. So 30 times some, or 15 times some number gives us 30. For our final step, we're going to divide both sides by 15. And we get that z equals 2. So now we're going to check it. We'll rewrite this, negative 6 times 2, replacing the 2 or the z with the 2, plus 28 equals 9 times 2 minus 2. So then we get negative 12 plus 28 equals 18 minus 2. Well, 28 minus 12 is 16. 18 minus 2 is 16. And so we've checked our answer and it makes sense. So let's recap some steps for solving. The first thing we want to do is to get, how do we want to say this? Get variable terms on same side. It could be the left side, it could be the right side. How you're doing that is you're going to undo the smaller variable term. So you're going to compare the coefficients, okay? whatever coefficient is smaller, you're going to undo that one from that side. Then you're going to get constants on the same side. So in this first example, we didn't have a constant over here, so we just left it here. But if, like on the other example, there was constants on both sides, we want to get the constants on, let's just say the other side. On the other side. Okay. Then we solve for variable by, or not by, using inverse operations. And follow SADMEG when possible. And I'm saying when possible because remember, we had some situations where we had a variable divided or subtracted with a constant, and then it was being divided by a number. And we cannot access this unless we have undone the division. So sometimes we have to divide first or multiply, but most of the time we're adding or subtracting and then doing the division or multiplication later. So make sure you've taken these notes down and keep referencing them as you practice.